All right. It was a new game, right? A whole new mystery. Make sure you tied up any loose. No, cancel. We'll do that one. Yeah. Whoa, it's a bunch of extra.
Hi, I'm Clark. Probably not who you expected to be knocking, but life's funny sometimes. You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down. A lot has happened in the last year. Far too much of it public. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes, too. I never wanted to be president. I'm not great with stress. And with my mother's deteriorating I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that everyone's coming out of the woodwork. Now that it's public knowledge the Clancy Trust covers any Roottrees despite their history with us, a lot of potential cousins have surfaced. You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. That was a disaster for us. And then Miracle went and made it all about himself. The long and short of it is, a lot of potential cousins just showed up. Sam's helping some of them, but she's not really going about it the right way. And she's not taking calls from anyone in the family. I let it slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in. It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side. In the meantime, if you're willing, I can share our files with you. Pass them along to Sam if she reaches out. I'm genuinely hoping she'll realize I'm an ally. Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this.
Mm-mm. Oh. There he is. Okay, let's see. Today is August 3rd, 1999. It has been 8 months since you helped Sam Madsen with the research necessary for her book. Sam was true to her word and paid you an incredibly large sum of money. She never mentioned you by name, however, so you managed to keep a low profile. The Roottrees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of notable events since the book's release, though you can refresh your memory in full detail by searching online. 6 pieces. Sam Madsen's book about Elias Roottree was released in February. It was a bestseller for a few months. At the time, Carl had not yet been replaced. The Roottree Rift. In March, the Roottree Company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release, with multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Clark Rafferty LaRoe. Clark was announced as the permanent successor to Carl Roottree and welcomed Sam Madsen to the family officially. The company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clancy Trust. This included any other new questions of lineage. 5 Ps. After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be Roottrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. The highest profile of these, by a wide margin, was a rapper named Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5 Ps as a publicity move at the same time. 5 Ps is the only notable person on the updated tree. Let's go ahead and highlight both those. In another high-profile misstep, Miracle Rootree publicly and vehemently denied that 5 Ps was a Rootree. The Rootree's legal team then offered to do a DNA test to get 5 Ps to drop his claim, and in a moment that caught what seemed like the entire world by storm, the test proved he was a Rootree. Suddenly, the world was obsessed with the Rootrees. Anonymom and Jane Doe Rootree. In July, an anonymous woman, who the press began to refer to as Anonymom, appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that an affair with a Rootree led to the birth of her daughter, aka Jane Doe Rootree. If true, this would make her daughter yet another secret Rootree and therefore entitled to a share of the Clancy Trust. Nobody knew at the time, but this would turn out to be the last chapter in the Roottreemania saga. As more and more of Anonymous story came out, people began to notice how much it echoed 5Ps in nearly every significant way. The court of public opinion began to turn, confirming the world's suspicions. The DNA tests orchestrated by lawyers on both sides proved that her daughter was not a Rootree. This final event caused public disappointment, smugness from the doubters, and countless accusations of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempt at fraud. Things got a bit ugly, and the fun of Roottreemania seemed to disappear overnight. Now, a month later, it feels like a distant memory. Seems worth searching. Oof. This is a new investigation with a new focus after many months of newfound interest in the Roottrees. It is recommended you try to catch up with some of what happened since last time. Some web searches may yield new or different results, and some books and magazines from your previous investigation may be relevant to your new one. It's also a much more widespread search. The list of first and last names you can choose from will contain red herrings. Not all of them will be used. Below is a reminder of some of the most notable beats of your initial dive into the Roottree family. All evidence from before is still available for your convenience. Any searches that do not lead to new information still function as they did during your first investigation. The Roottrees Candy Company was founded by Elias and Gwyneth many years ago. The entire family has a financial reliance on the health of that company. Most of the action took place in or around Butler County, Pennsylvania, where the company was initially located. Elias, Carl, and Raina were on the cover of magazines. Okay. Other notable Roottrees, such as Lauren Rootree, Miracle Rootree, and Jim Rootree, had physical media such as record albums, books, and movies associated with them. Lauren's 2 diaries were probably the most useful resources overall, mentioning many of her relatives directly. That's true. The 5 pieces, Elias's children, could be identified based on the initials of the original candy flavors. There were 5 presidents of the Roottrees Company. Many were featured in periodicals. Stephanie Jones and Brian Jones were featured in campaign posters and led to Carolyn Morden's art book, which enabled you to fill out more of the tree. Many of the younger Roottrees were found by following a complex rabbit hole through a conspiracy site that led to finding a searchable web address for Chris Rafferty, Lauren's grandson. November Roottrie was really difficult to place. Her occupation could only be found via Brian Jones' company website. That's right, yeah. Ronald and his brother Robert Roottrie go by Ron and Robbie. Both worked on a TV show called Brother Trouble until Robbie embezzled money and fled to Paris. Ron unsuccessfully tried to have Robbie removed from the Clancy Trust. Sam and her father were cryptically mentioned in a book about historical letters. Few dead ends and red herrings. Aloysius Herring Roottree, who claimed he was a Roottrie but was not. Family Man, a book about Elias Roottrie, turned out to be propaganda and not useful. Lauren's other books, historical romance novels, were not useful on their own, though could lead to other information. Carolyn Morton's sculptures were not useful. Great. Oh boy, okay. Today, August 3rd, didn't I already read this? No. Today, August 3rd, 1999, there was a knock at your door. Clark Rafferty LaRoe, the current president of the Roottrees Candy Company, explained that multiple people have come out of the woodwork to claim to be Rootrees. He has been trying to work with Sam, but she has not been answering his calls. He also handed you a letter that he said you could share with Sam that said the following, to both of you. The company I hired to help us with the Clancy Trust is busy poring over the entire family's history as well as people they may have had contact with. That said, the family is not particularly happy with this and are doing their best to slow things down. Many of them are actively avoiding our interviews. Every time there's a high-profile public case, it causes headaches. So please, I don't mind if you do your research, but I ask that you stop going to the press. Instead, we have a highly trained team of lawyers to back you up. We're ready and willing to verify anyone and everyone you believe could be realistically part of a relationship that led to the birth of a new Roottrie. Just tell us who to investigate by filling in the new sections of the tree, and we'll take the time to handle verifying that the timeline checks out. But keep in mind why we're here. If someone didn't have a child or has already been disqualified by our lawyers, like in the case of the girl with the negative DNA test, there won't be a place for them on the tree. We're not just looking for affairs and infidelities. We're only looking for the ones that led to a potential new Roottrie. Some spots in the new section will be marked with a tree icon. Those areas are reserved for members of the original family tree you filled in 8 months ago. Just like last time, be sure to use birth names for everyone you add. Married names or nicknames won't be enough. To start sorting out the infidelities, I recommend you turn your eye to the men in positions of power. I'd love to say that's only because it would have been a lot harder for the woman to hide 9 months of pregnancy and birth without the family noticing, but I can't. I'll be blunt, I'm no stranger to infidelity. I wish I could claim that I was a perfect husband, but you've seen the family tree, so why pretend? Some of us learned how to wield our family name and fortune to our benefit, consequence be damned. I can't change the past or unhurt those I betrayed. Instead, all I can do is be honest with myself and to you, refuse to make more mistakes, and do my best to sort out the various messes we've left behind. So please fill in the tree, and together we can figure out how we can make amends. Good luck, and thank you both. Clark. Okay. Five P's. Still got Pick Spot. Found some recent radio play after being publicly confirmed as a long-lost Rootree and entitled to a part of their fortune. 5 P's is a play on 5 pieces. 1 out of 7 for whatever reason. With the headline, more poser than my action figure collection. It mentions his real name is David, and he used to go by Dirty David. Mother's tragic past. She overdosed when he was 16. Apparently only one of the songs on the album is new. The others were simply rewritten to turn... Okay. Holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. Time Travel Archive. Maybe he's in here too. The Hunky Hotties. It's not possible that he was born in 1977, as he claimed on a song called 17 Magazine that he turned 17 in 1992. We're told it wasn't performed by 5Ps and that they shouldn't print rumors. The first release of his first mixtape that was removed. It was written on Davy's 17th birthday. Yeah, that's already dead, right? Yeah. Ah, I was missing one. Let's see. What if I search? Is this going to bring something different? No. His real name is David. Possible infidelity 3. So this is probably but where is he? Him. Maybe in here there'll be a picture. Oh. $1982. Yeah, so this is Guy. What was he? He was the 3rd president? Yeah. Why can I not use his picture? Well, views were mixed. Only 2 months on the bestseller. Well, let's Sam Madsen. Had some sections on other family secrets and rumors. Okay. Rumors got collected during that tenure. Gwyneth took over in 1984. Most of the relevant rumors coincided with the reign of Guy Hudson, who took over as president in 1978. Ah. One of Sam's farm supervisors was named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met, but who worked as one of Guy's secretaries. According to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelli's met her daughter at one of Guy's parties, and they eloped quickly due to a pregnancy. Rumor has it that her daughter showed up with Guy and didn't seem comfortable switching partners. Left for weeks at a time. Elias may have also cheated on Gwyneth. Gwyneth was always much kinder to Sam than Elias was, and was the first to invite Sam to family events. While she had no hard evidence, Sam always got the impression that Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias into allowing Sam back into the family using some kind of leverage, instead of it being a natural course of events. Were known to loudly argue, sometimes about another woman. Sam also says her son Ernie once asked her, "Who's Beth?" because he overheard them yelling about someone with that name. As far as Sam knows, Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth, a different Elizabeth from the supervisor from the farm, but she never met her. Alright, well, there's a lot of Elizabeths going on. So this first one, it's going to be him. Nope, he didn't do it. Okay. Elizabeth is not going to bring up anything. What about this? More local. Oh. There might be something in here about that. All right. The most recent time was when it closed. The owner, Rochelle Zimmer, sold the land the building was on, and at the time of the article, she was unsure if the restaurant would move to a new location or she would retire. There was a puff piece for Valentine's Day. Let's see. Christine Garland responded. She and her husband, Steve, who was a chef at Antonelli's, met years ago when she delivered produce from her mother's farm. So this is her. Okay. I feel like there's probably not gonna be anything, yeah. Is there anything more by searching for her? No. Huh. Is that the first, though? Wait, what's this? That's just an update. Somebody. Wow, he really got around. Um. Hmm. Nope. Yeah, I don't know if that's the first or the second, though. I'm going to say it's the second. What's this? Don't know. I still don't know what this box is. Unknown. Is it Steve? Stephen Garland. This is probably not. Yeah. Too vague. Let's see, is there anything new on this? Okay. Maybe there's something. Oh, here we go. Oh, what? Gotta find new. Look into loose ends. Yeah, sure. I haven't been able to find a single picture of him. Let's see. What if I... is a new president. It was announced that Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottrees would be taking over for what is essentially described as a transitional period in the aftermath of Six Pieces. 2 weeks later, the company released a press statement that thanked Ron for his work, but announced that Clark was the new permanent president. What happened with Ron? gained a lot of support when his first move was a statement in favor of accepting Sam and her family into the trust. Announcement that the Clancy Trust would no longer be handled by anyone in the family since, due to their financial motivation, none of them could ever be impartial. Okay. Was announced as president, but immediately reversed. A few weeks later, was entirely dropped. Ron and Business Watch. Oh, okay. Three weeks ago, Ron's mother, Gwen, died in Paris. He and his brother, Robbie, have seemingly made amends. Ran an article about 2 months after the Rootree rift about what really happened with Rootree. The article mentions that nobody from Rootree that they reached out to was willing to go on the record. Instead, the timeline of events has been constructed from public record, accidental leaks, and a source on the inside. The only parts that are new to you are also the most vague parts, the ones supposedly confirmed by their anonymous source. The timeline says that the family actually held a preliminary vote after Carl Rootree died, but before the release of 6 pieces, and decided they wanted Ron Rootree to take over because of his experience running RR Productions, and because he was a well-known and well-respected Rootree. But Ron seemed way too eager and personally motivated. They were worried he would gut the Clancy Trust to remove Robbie Rootree. The family was notoriously unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. They stalled, and Ron became frustrated with the delay. When 6 pieces came out, he saw his chance to force action while the family was in the limelight and released the press release himself in an attempt to get the ball rolling faster. This caused chaos within the family. They tried to save face by allowing Ron to take over as co-president with Clark, but according to Business Watch's sources, Ron was impossible to deal with. He seemed like he was unwilling to protect the Clancy Trust, and they eventually let him go. Huh. Didn't really tell me anything. Although maybe... No. This to me just seems like somebody got married and had a kid after the events of this part of the game. So this part seems legit. So I don't think... Because reading that, my first thought is maybe Ron also had been some infidelity going on and wanted to get in there and cut those kids out. I don't know. Dude, this guy is crazy. This is insane too. Uh-huh. Sudden and severe case of pneumonia. Relatively good health. She was 67. Seems pretty young. Nope, not that one. Oof. No. Oh, I've never searched for Roottreemania. Because of the 5P saga, an underlying through line to how pop culture treated Roottreemania was an excuse for everyday people to claim they were also Roottrees. Daytime talk shows had I Am a Secret Rootree episode. Late night host and guests made jokes about other lost members of the family. A widely shared website where you could fill in your own name to find out if you were a secret Rootree. When you submitted your name, it simply said no with an image of Clark Rafferty LaRoe giving you the finger. Only lasted a few weeks. New printings of other Roottree related media. Most re-releases were too late to successfully capitalize on or extend the craze, so most of them were failures. Okay. Well. She claimed she slept with Guy Hudson and that her daughter was a Rootree. The accusation came during the height of Roottreemania. Referred to her daughter as Jane Doe Rootree. The day after the News Time article, Sam Madsen publicly supported Anonymon due to some parts of the story she found particularly credible. Went on a media blitz, but it backfired. Her accusation even included many of the same details as his mother's story. This included her job secretary and the time period. Late 70s. After fumbling the 5P story so publicly, the Rootrees were more prepared to handle all Clancy Trust-related cases. Within a week, a DNA test proved that Anonymom's daughter could not be related to the Rootrees. Each party ensured their respective clients provided accurate samples. Though it was scientifically proven that Jane Doe Rootree is not a Rootree, this does not mean that her mother and Guy Hudson were not involved in an affair. She had every right to make her claim, as it has been verified that her stories about Guy Hudson were not exaggerations. Please leave their family alone. This was the final notable event related to the release of 6 pieces, and things soon went back to normal. Anonymom's affair does not appear on your updated tree. Okay. So this is, I think, 5Ps, who is Felix Fellows. No, David Fellows. Right? The review mentions his real name is David. Come on. Discourse from people who would like to point out that in one of the songs, Fiddly Fellows includes someone that would be revealed to be his own distant cousin and a list of attractive women. Okay. Hmm. News time. Hmm. Okay. Okay, that just brings up the same. He appeared on the cover holding a photo of his mother and Guy Hudson. Says that his mother, Joanna, was Zach Morton's secretary when he retired, and then Guy Hudson's secretary for only 1 or 2 weeks after that before she quit. His parents divorced when he was 4 after his father learned of the affair. The only one where they were dressed, and the only one not from the affair itself. To Riley and Joanna Fellows, but was never wrapped without a moniker. Early to mid 70s. This is not him. Oh, he's on there, so duh. Let me get them. Okay. Riley and Joanna, but I don't know what her birth name was. This is Riley. I guess secretary. And musician. Roottree family picnic. Okay. What's this guy got to say? Miracle Roottree appeared on the cover of Newstime shortly after 5Ps did. He vehemently denied that 5Ps was a Roottree. This article was from before the DNA test that proved it. He said that although most of the book was based in fact, it let out anything that wouldn't fit the agenda. He points out that Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary for overseeing the farm division of Roottree, and that Sam did the same before her. And that really it was only her son who chose to take on a job with no salary. He claims that though they didn't have to, the family helped pay for her son's medical bills after voting that it was the right thing to do. Miracle also says that the story about his father last shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum: stop sinning or be disowned. Ah, cool. Recounts a deluge of claims to the Clancy trust the family have been subjected to. Demonstrably, laughably false. Five P's lyrics is violent, sexist, and ungodly, and prays the boy will repent, retract his lies, and find religion. Okay. Miracle does not speak for his entire family. We're working carefully on a plan to definitively disprove any claims of infidelity in our family's past. Does not refute Miracle's claim that he's the oldest living Roottree, despite Sam Madsen being born the year before him. Unclear if Miracle made the claim out of ignorance or spite. There's one piece of evidence tied to this somehow. Nope, nothing relevant. Well, maybe... Nope. Oh, I always love it when the sax just starts popping off. Okay. Hmm. Oh, something printed. Are you the son of Clark Rafferty? Yes, but I didn't grow up with him. I remember him from when I was a little kid, but I moved away with my mom when I was very young. We lived there with Pete, my stepdad. My dad and I spoke a few times when I found his phone number on a check he sent us in the mail when I was 15. I don't remember. Did you ever meet the Roottrees? Never met the sisters. My memory is weird. It's hard to know what I actually remember, what I only think I do because I have the pictures. I made myself sick by eating chocolate, and some woman who I don't know cleaned my face. I knew Ernie had a heart problem because my dad told me on one of our phone calls. He emailed some old stuff, including proof. I'm not good at spelling or writing. I'm good at painting and other art. I'm going to school to learn how to edit movies. I want to make cartoons someday. Lulu is much better at spelling. Okay. So that's his dad. That's Guy. What if I just search? No. Maybe this? No. Seems unlikely, yeah. Okay. Was released from French prison after serving a few years for assaults. Not yet returned to the United States. Hmm. 7. That's so many. Okay. Oh, I see. So Zachariah. Did I spell it wrong? No. There's just nothing about him. Okay. Hmm. People of power. Hmm. Sad MIDI piano playing in the background. Fantastic. Uh, Ruby Legal Enterprises. Ruby Sprats. Cicely Sanchez. Ruby Sprats. Airline. Hmm. A few more books, I think. A biography of Van Gogh. Article about a book she had commissioned to write for Guy Hudson. Cool. Huh. Cicely Sanchez. Uh, saved from drowning in his backyard pool and became an entirely different person. Huh. Mm. I mean, it seems unlikely since there is like nothing else like that you can do. Hmm. No, I should keep that because if I can find. Man, they were not kidding. This is way harder. Okay. Weird. That just searching Brazil didn't bring up anything. Hmm. Hmm. It is possible that this is him. Oh, no, he split up. Which he didn't do. Oh, no. This is the other person. So it could be. Hmm. Well, not much progress, huh? But